Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse getting started right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot as usual. Miss doing the live streams actually. So I haven't done a live stream since last Monday, and I think we did a live stream the Monday before. So only one live stream per week the last 2 weeks. But like we talked about 2 weeks ago, you know, we were going through the whole making a decision to put the dog down or not. We ended up having to put her down 2 Fridays ago. 2 Fridays ago. And then last week, met up with old friends, the old crew over the past 30 years. And for our annual guys golf trip in Nashville, Tennessee. And it was fun. It was fun. Too many honky tonks, too much bad golf, but not enough time with the boys. So good to see them again. Good to be back on here in the live stream. Good to be alive and kicking, and good to see the wife and the baby and hang out with them all weekend. It was great. But good morning, good morning, good morning. Lucky Look 7159. Good day, good day, good day. Stock BE on daily. I see some bearish divergence. Okay, yeah, we can take a look at it. Let me know how the mic sounds. I have the original mic stand on. It's a lot shorter, but it should be okay. If not, I can put the taller one on. It's just the taller one gets in my way. So I wanted to retest the original. It's just weird because it's so short that it makes me want to hunch over. But so maybe I'll put the other one on just for my own purposes. But Bitcoin 80,500, or at least it was 80,500 when I wrote this. Reclaim sound is good. All right, cool. Thank you. Yep. Good morning. Yep. Cool. Reclaim or get rejected, right? Reclaim or get rejected. That's what we're going to dive into today. You can see where Bitcoin was flipping back bullish on April 5th, and there was a buy signal back above the trending dots, and it's been bullish ever since. There was bearish divergence over here. We said that price would come back down to the trending dots. It did. We said that the bulls would want to maintain and find support at the trending dots and bounce, and the bulls did, right? We had one candle close below, but then quickly reversed back around and never had a sell signal or anything like that. So it's still bullish. I believe today could print possible additional bearish divergence, but I have to look closer. We will look closer. But that's where we're at right now on this retracement. Before we get into all of that, before we get into all the details over here, in the first half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks, futures, anything that jumps out at us on the watch list, we will cover it. Second half of the live stream, we will cover your chart requests. So make sure to put in the ticker symbol, all the details. Let me know if it's a stock or crypto or whatever it is, because there's a lot of overlap. And then it'll help us search for it quickly. Keep the live streaming over here. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, this is for educational purposes only, and hopefully find a little bit of entertainment along the way, whether that's making fun of me for being a little bit of rusty or not. But let's keep rock and rolling. This is the Bitcoin daily chart, and you can see it's currently getting rejected. It's early. It just barely touched it, but it's currently getting rejected off of the Anchor VWAP deviation band 1, which I posted in the Discord earlier today with all the details. So if you want all the details first before anyone else on social media sees it, the cost is $9 per month. If you want all of these tools to go along with it, if you want the screener, if you want all the alerts, if you want the dashboard, if you want this, take a deep dive, 70 plus hours recorded coaching, then of course that's $49 a month. So, but if you just want if you just want to see chart posts with all the details every single day in the Discord, then that's $9 a month. Plus, there's alerts too that come with it. You can check it out on the website. But currently getting rejected. Trying to flip the 0.5 fib. It may or may not. So the bulls will want the 0.5 fib to get rejected. I mean, the bulls will want the 0.5 to flip the resistance into support, which would signal price coming back up to retest the golden pocket up here, 83,600-ish, 500-ish, and then we'll see about that. If the bear market is over, the bulls definitely want to flip the golden pocket from resistance into support. Right now, this big move down is just a retracement so far, right? So the 0.236, the 0.5, the 0.382, all have been hit, all have been retested. The golden pocket has not yet. It could, and it still could just be in a retracement of this massive move downward that we had called out in real time. And that was a 38.52% move. And now we're at a 33% bounce from that big move down over 87 bars. So there we go. That's where we're at right now. It's a retracement of that so far. Everybody's getting excited. The bulls have won. The bears are wrecked. But the swing traders keep swing trading, right? Up or down, it doesn't matter to a swing trader. Most swing traders probably just mostly do buy the dips. But for a neutral swing trader, buying the dip or shorting the bounce, depending on what market you're in, does not matter, right? It's all what you're used to, what your personal preference is. So that's the daily chart. It still has some work to do to say that this is no longer a retracement of this huge move down. And instead, you know, if we're looking at, here, let's go over, let's move over to, I've got more charts over here. 79,000. This is a weekly chart. The weekly chart could flash a pending buy signal in the near future. There was a MACD bullish crossover, as we pointed out in real time back on, let's see, blue, yeah, right there. MACD bullish crossover. We said that it could trend upward, right? Could trend upward while price trends downward. So that's where we're still at right now. There's a MACD bullish crossover August 2022, but it was in deep bearish territory as it is now, right? So the MACD bullish crossover. It trended upward for, let's see, August, September, October, and then almost through November for nearly 3 months. And while it bounced, while price bounced around, it ended up going lower overall, creating bullish divergence on the MACD. There was bullish divergence on the MACD histogram, which we pointed out in real time here and here, followed by the MACD bullish crossover in bearish territory, followed by the MACD bullish crossover in bearish territory. And when, not if, and when the signal line comes back to the yellow line, there's going to be a bigger drop on Bitcoin. Whether that creates a higher low or it creates bullish divergence, meaning lower prices, that remains to be seen. We do not have a magic crystal ball, but one thing is for sure. One thing is certain, in my personal opinion, not financial advice, is that while it's trending up in bearish territory, it's not bullish. It's a bounce, and it could come back down and then either create a new low on price, creating bullish divergence, just like it did over here. So if we look at it, let's move this up over here. You can see this yellow line, right? This line was the bullish MACD crossover. Price went up the next week. Price wicked up higher the next week. So for about 2 weeks, and then it trended back down lower, back to the lows, bounced again for a few more weeks, and then came back down low again. The bottom is in, crew is in again, and then bounced up again, 21,000. Finally came back down, made a new low back in November, creating that bullish divergence. Went sideways. Bitcoin's going to zero. Bitcoin's going to 3,500. We all saw all the experts talking about that while I was pointing out bullish divergence. And then we were getting ready to make our first buy on January 4th, 2023 at 16,800, calling for the next bull run. And it was on, right? That was a 12-month bear market. We are about, let's see, May 4th. It was October 6th, right? So let me count on my hands. November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 7 months of the 12-month bear market, potentially so far. This is where we're at. MACD bullish crossover. Price went higher for 2 weeks, came down, bounced, got closer to the trending dots again, went sideways, bounced, came back down lower. So this time is different because price is back above the trending dots, but the result could be the same. We had the MACD bullish crossover. This time is different because it's bounced for 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th week. It's the beginning of the 4th week, but it bounced for 3 weeks versus 1 week. And then we'll see what happens overall if it's 4 weeks versus 2 weeks. But over here, it was more bearish. It never even retested the trending dots. In 2022, on this bounce here, price came back above it. So this time is different. But we'll see how the timing overall is. And after that MACD bullish crossover, if we're going to see price come back down, at least put in a higher low, or if it puts in a lower high, creating the bullish divergence, continues to bounce, and we'll see how it plays out. So if we redraw this out in real time, it's possible it comes back down like this, puts in that higher low, bounces, comes back down, bounces, puts in that higher low, and then go, right? Let's see. Got the bullish divergence. Maybe it doesn't take that long. Right? So MACD is still in bearish territory and it's trending upward. We had the MACD bullish crossover. And if you look at similarities over here, very similar to that same move. And price just went basically sideways and down, right? Down, bounce, down, sideways, bounce, down. And it took time for that to play out. Like I said, that was all of August, September, October, and mostly November. As nearly 4 more months, right? So if you got nearly 4 more months after the bullish crossover, then you're looking at, let's see, April, then you have May, then you have June, and then July, right? So maybe it doesn't even go that long. Maybe it goes like that. So if you redraw it again, come up like that, come back down, higher low, come back down, and then go, right? So if it's going to be shorter and it's about that 3.5, 4 months, that's the way it could play out. And the reason why I'm drawing it down here is to retest the 200-week moving average, which is upward sloping, to retest the on-chain data, which is currently below $53,000, and retest the golden pocket on the macro, right? On the macro. So we're going to get into all of that. Let's check out the comments. Make sure I don't get behind. Jason, I think I already said good morning, but just in case. We'll circle back to this, Toby. 200-day resistance review on daily. We'll take a look at it. Max. CL1. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. There's a lot of requests today. What's happening to VIT? Good question. Boom, boom, boom. Great point. Not sure what point you're talking about, but thank you. Intel stock, please, sir, whenever you like. It's morning. I'm crime super cycle. Intel, sure. Yeah, we'll come back to it. True. A retest of it makes sense. A retest of the 200-week SMA. We've been saying since day one, when price was at 123,700, when I posted the Wyckoff distribution, the main thesis was that the 200-week SMA was going to be retested. It came within 3% of it, actually went lower than where it currently is now, but still has not retested it. Will it? We'll find out in the near future, in the next couple of months. Could you check Meta? Sure. Yep. It's all narratives. Those all happen after price gets pushed down. So it did. There was some people. Yeah, there was some news about it already on this big move down here. There was some big news on it. So what else? Yes, I think it's possible. It did pretty much in every bear market so far. It was on the chart, unless you're talking about the daily chart or you're talking about the macro. Okay, you got it, Lucky Look. Yep. Dual. A lot of chart requests, so I'm going to have to get rock and rolling here. I think there's a lot of reasons why Bitcoin could revisit $38,000, which we've had on the charts since the top. So we'll see if it happens or not. We're just trying to adjust this in real time. And the MACD bullish crossover could be signaling that we're going to start going through a bottoming phase. So we'll see if it comes down to that lower level or not. We're going to be ready for all possible scenarios, but you have this big move down. Come back for a retest of that wick makes sense. Come back to a retest of 200-week SMA makes sense. Come back to a retest of the golden pocket, which has not been retested yet. The Anchor VWAP. There's a lot of reasons why. On-chain data, all of that, right? So we'll see how it plays out. But 38,000 is definitely on the charts from the very top. Whether it hits it or not, we don't know. We don't have a magic crystal ball. But let's see what else. Here is the original chart layout from the very top. This was posted on October 10th, right? And you can see it's deviating from the 2022 fractal. We never expected the fractal to play out exactly over all this time. We're just using it as like an overall, okay, it was ahead of schedule. It bounced before, it dropped before. And so it was letting the fractal and the trending dots all catch up. And now it's bouncing back above the trending dots over here. So eventually it's going to retest the weekly trending dots again, whether it's to the downside or it's already in a bull market, which I'm going to show you several reasons why it's not. In my opinion, it's still in a bear market, but we're catching a bounce, and is a nice retracement from this $97,000, call it $98,000 drop, all the way down to $60,000 drop. So that massive $38,000 drop, it's getting a retracement of that right now, right? It's a retracement of a $38,000 drop in a short period of time. That literally happened in about 3 weeks. We saw Bitcoin drop $38,000. Price is retracing that big move as of right now. So we'll see. We'll see. Boom, boom. So that's the weekly chart. If we look at the higher time frames, look at the 2-week chart. Here we are. Hasn't retested the 2-week trending dots. They're currently at 88,500. You can see the label over here, 88,500. They're moving target. They haven't been retested yet. They could be retested and still in a bear market. But if you start flipping these trending dots, then things start to change, right? So you can see that the trending dots continue to expand, right? They continue to expand. But when they start to consolidate and get closer and they come back for a retest at 19,000, you can see that we are already in it at 16,800. But you see, you could have waited for the trending dots to consolidate and price comes back for a retest of it. We're not even above those trending dots yet. So there's still going to be time to catch a good price if the bull market is over and things are flipping around, right? So it's going to take time. We are right around here. We're right around August 2022. So we still have a ways to go timing wise. Maybe not price wise, maybe price wise, but we still have a ways to go on timing wise, in my opinion. So everyone's focused purely on price. I am not. I am focused on momentum. I'm focused on timing and price. So all of it together. The overall momentum on the higher time frames remain bearish. It's still in a downward trend on the 2-week chart. Still hasn't fully flipped around in the weekly chart, and the weekly chart could flip back around. And like I mentioned, on the weekly chart, there was a MACD bullish crossover on the weekly chart, and the 2-week chart is starting to flip back around. If you look, the 2-week chart, MACD didn't actually cross over until January 2023, right? And that was about the same time. I didn't pull the trigger to buy based off of that, but it did align with the reason why I was buying the right dip on January 2023. You can see where it was starting to hook around and remained trying to hook around all the way until January 2023. And price was still at 16,800 when I was buying the right dip. So if all this takes time to play out and hooks over, let's make that blue. And then, oops. And then I get another one. There we go. And the yellow flattens out and there's a crossover, right? The crossover would be closer to August. or September or October, right? So it's going to take time for the 2-week chart to flip momentum around. During that period of time, there's going to be some bigger drops. There's going to be at least one bigger drop, right? So you can see that this histogram took time. What is that? 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I'm not going to count today. We're still trying to knock off Russ. 12 2-week candles. So that's 24 weeks. That's about 6 months, right? July. Yeah. That's about 6 months. So here we are. 12 2-week candles. Would put us at middle of August, right? So middle of August would be 12 2-week candles with the histogram. The histogram hasn't even flipped green yet, right? So if it flips green, say in August, it lined up with when I was buying the right dip on Bitcoin. So during that period of time, when the histograms are getting smaller, getting smaller, getting smaller. This is a terrible drawing, by the way. And then flips green, right? Then you're going to see all my chart posts flip. And everyone's going to be saying, you're such a bear. You're such a bear. You're such a bear. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then in the bull run, Jesse, you're so bullish. You're just a bullish. And there's going to be a lot more memes, a lot more GIFs, right? So you can see, obviously, you'd have to put on more of these, but I'm not going to do that right now, right? So you can see the histogram. You see the histogram. Just takes time. And once it flips green, it's going to be off to the races, in my opinion, right? We are a long ways away from that. And before it even started to make really massive moves, the MACD was up here, making massive moves up here, right? Not down here. The massive moves to the upside aren't happening down here. They're happening up here. This is the bullish area where price pumps, right? This is the bearish area where price does not pump. So there's a 33% bounce right now, but that's 33%. Up here, it's making 100% moves or 50% moves. Down here, it's making 30% bounce from wick to wick, right? So that's the difference. This is bearish territory. This is bullish territory. This is when things are pumping, creating bearish divergence, making new all-time highs, etc., right? So that's where we're at. It's starting to hook around, but that doesn't mean the bottom is in. It means we're going through a bottoming phase, which means we could see lower prices first, right? Woo! We went deep today. So here's another, let's see where we're at. So going back to the targets, right? This is target 4 was put on the chart. Every single bear market, prices hit target 4. Target 4 would bring you down to about $55,000. Every single bear market so far, prices come back down to target 5, including 2022. And if it did that again, price would be at $38,000, below the $40,000. I think it's like $39,000. The ETF low makes a lot of sense. Come back down and retest it at 38,800-ish. It's all possibility. It's possible we see that bullish divergence, right? Whether it's down here, whether that's up here, right? Wherever it is, we still haven't even seen bullish divergence. Doesn't mean we're going to see it, but we haven't seen it yet. What else? Every single bear market so far, price has gone below the 200-week SMA by 30% or more, and that was the opportunity zone to buy the right dip. Is this time different? Maybe, maybe not. Every single bear market, Bitcoin price, the gold line, has retested the average buy price while it's been downward sloping. Every single bear market, even including the 3-month bear market of 2020, price spiked below it, the average buy price, right? Every single bear market, price went below the average buy price. The average buy price is currently 52,993, right? Is this time different? Maybe. But there are a lot of reasons why the low is not in yet. This was a massive move down. 90,900 on monthly closes. 93,664 on monthly closes. All the way down to 65,000 on the monthly close. This is a retracement of that. And you can see that there's some resistance here as well at about 78,000. So it's right into resistance at 78, 79, 80,000. There's additional resistance at 83,500 that we already talked about. That's the average buy price. So we are yet to retest it. And the higher bearish momentum continues to be bearish momentum. So we'll see if it plays out or not, right? Everyone calling for the bottom here. Everyone called for the bottom here. And everyone certainly called the bottom here. I remember. So we'll see. We'll see if eventually they will be right. They were not right at 108,000. They were not right at 94,000. And they may or may not be right at 65,000. We don't know yet. Too early to say. But seems like a retest of this on-chain data of the average buy price makes a lot of sense. It lines up with a lot of market sniper targets. So that's where we're at right now. If Bitcoin does flip this target here at 80,500-ish, 473, then I would expect the golden pocket to be retested as well. So somewhere within that 83,500 to 85,136, I would expect that to get retested on this huge retracement down, right? It's possible. And that is still just a retracement until proven otherwise. So there we go. There we go. What's ETH doing? ETH looks similar to Bitcoin, except that the red trending dots started to flip red. There was an actual sell signal, and now it's flipped back around, trying to recover after being rejected from the 200-week SMA. So it's probably just going to follow Big Brother Bitcoin. Let's go over to see HODL daily chart. You got this gap here at 23.15. See if that gap gets filled. There's still older gaps down here. This is the all-time low that I was talking about on HODL. So this is where the ETFs are at about just below $39,000. Bitcoin futures coming up and just filled this gap. Breaking news. Filled that gap. So is that it? Not only retested our anchor VWAP, but Bitcoin futures has now also filled the gap. Is that it? About to find out. There's resistance around 84,000 as well. Probably a weekly chart. Bum, bum. Is that it? Gap filled. Let's change that. Let's see. Bum, bum, bum. It's easier to maneuver around with this shorter mic. It's just odd that the mic isn't closer to me, but I think the volume is fine. It's easier though. And it's more steady. I don't have to worry about knocking it over. Let's put on emoji. Jesse, you're in your late 40s. Why are you still doing emojis? I don't know. Let's move to the top. Caesar C. Gap filled. Boom. There we go. Gap fill on Bitcoin futures. Now we find out. All right. Bitcoin versus gold, same thing, going through retracement, just filled that gap as well. So that gap was filled. SP 500. Whoa. Overbought. Bearish divergence. Possible bearish engulfing candle. Bearish divergence. Down 0.5%. TQQQQ. XRP. Let's get off of the brush. What else? Let's take a sip of water. Alert. This is from our good friends at Whale Alert. What's up? Cool. 200 million USDT transferred from unknown wallet to Binance. Uh-oh. I don't know. Uh-oh. Ethereum. Oh, where we at? Pending buy signal XRP. Is it going to go higher? Is it going to go through retracement? Maybe. Ethereum trying to regain. Chainlink pending buy signal. Is Bitcoin leading the way to a higher bounce? A higher retracement up into this area? Right? Retest the 200-week SMA? Maybe. I never worry about missing XYZ because there's always a lagging one that you just catch the next one, right? Just catch the next one. There you go. Chainlink, pending buy signal. Cardano, pending buy signal. Algo had the bullish divergence. Came up, put in a higher low. Still bullish as of right now. Are we going to see a bigger bounce on altcoins? Maybe. I mean, they're overdue. They're really overdue, right? I mean, really overdue. They've been overdue. This is a massive move down. Massive move. 76% in 203 days. Kept going through a bottoming phase for 255 days, putting in bullish divergence, breaking out to the upside, coming back down, putting in a higher low, which is the higher probability. A higher low is the higher probability. Break out of here, and you can see I'll go make a run, right? Even from here, 53% move. All the way up here, 75% move, right? So there's always another opportunity. H bar is lagging or is just more bearish. XLM came back up for a retest of the 200, and then got rejected. So near, that was it. That was it for near, right? As of right now, pumped up, wasn't even that much, but the pump up from, or the retracement there from wick to wick was 76%. So something, right? What else? Gold going through a correction. We drew this out way back here on March, down, up, down, and then possibly come all the way back down to the 200-week SMA, right? It's possible. Silver, similar thoughts. Dollar, VIX is up 10%. Kind of lines up with, this could be another higher low. The VIX, that lines up with the SP 500 having a bearish engulfing candle after bearish divergence. Something to pay attention to. Is the top in? I don't know. Too early to say. But the VIX is back above the 200-week SMA. It's got to get back above the trailing dots. Once it moves fast and brings volatility back into the market. Then cue the news. Then cue the news after that, right? So what else? Hive catching a bounce. Gap down here on HUT. What else? US oil still bullish. This is the Adam and Eve double bottom. Pumped up. Crushed it to 119. This Adam and Eve double bottom happened before all the news, right? I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say the W. I'm not going to say the W. If we can't hold 80,000, we will go down. And yes, I agree. Low not in yet. Cool, cool, cool. Volume all good. Bada bing, bada boom. What else? Oil had the buy signal on January 20th before the news. Adam and Eve double bottom, break out of this wedge as well, broke out, and then just pumped hard all the way to 119, right? That target was hit from the Adam and Eve double bottom. We were all over it. Coin, weekly chart, MACD bullish crossover, pending RSI buy signal as well. Let's move that up. And 2-week chart, still below the trailing dots. So you still have the caution. Could get rejected, come back down lower. We'll see. We will see. 10-year yield for all the macro experts out there. Seems like it wants to go to the top. It seems like this is no longer an option. It seems like the 10-year yield is going higher. If all that is true, that's not good for lending. That's not good for expansion. That's not good for business. That's not good for loan officers. It's not good for realtors. Realtors. I always add an I. 17 years of my career, I always add an I. They should have named it Realtors, not Realtors. I'm making a formal complaint. So glad to be out of that. It was good money. But I'm so glad to be out of real estate. I saw one of my close buddies over the week. He's in title. He still deals with realtors every single day. And I saw all the text messages, all the emails he's dealing with. And I'm like, I'm so glad I taught myself how to trade. So glad. I do not want to. The money was really good. But the last 5 years, it was only about the money for me. And, then I was coming into my 40s and all of that. And I'm like, am I going to do this the rest of my life? Is it only going to be about the money the rest of my life? And then got obsessed with the charts. And then once I was able to prove that I can make 6 digits on swing trades, then I allowed myself to give up the money only on real estate and loans. I did both. Real estate loans, we had investments, stuff like that. So so I stared at charts for a long time before I gave up real estate and loans. But once I proved the model, and I took the leap of faith, and 5 years later, here we are. No real estate and loans for the past 5 years and 1 month. So there we go. And then I took to Twitter. Was this my memoir? Then I took to Twitter about this time 5 years ago because I had nothing else to do. So I was watching my swing trades, and I started posting charts on Twitter. Back then it was named Twitter. Now it's called X. And started showing all my calls on Twitter about this time 5 years ago because I had nothing else to do. Sold our Airbnb business, all that. So I had to do something, right? I had to do something. Couldn't just watch a swing trading chart for 6 weeks and that's it. I had to do something. So there we go. 10-year yield. If it breaks higher, that's not good for the markets. If it breaks higher, it's bullish on the weekly chart. It's bullish on the 2-week chart. It was bullish on the monthly chart, right? Everything is pointing that we're going higher. There's the 3-week chart. There's the monthly chart. We talked about it. We covered the bullish engulfing candle. 10-year yield came back down, retested the trading dots one more time. Now it's pushing higher. That's why we got to lean there, right? Got to lean there. Breakout could become, let's see. Like I said, that's not good for the markets. But we'll see. We'll see. Could still take some time to play out, right? Maybe it takes 75 to 80% of that move. So maybe something like that, right? Boom. You break above there. It's not good for the overall markets, no matter what you see on the news. So you're seeing this in real time play out. US 10-year yield. Boom, boom, boom. What else? Master. MicroStrategy. There we go. Back above the 200-week SMA. Came all the way below it. Led the way. All the way down to 104. It's catching a bounce. We're expecting bounces. So if it came all the way down here, came all the way down here, expect big bounces, right? So we'll see. We'll see. It may not be done yet. It may not be done yet. Could go all the way through August, September, October, December, November, whatever month you want to call it. What else? Crisp. This one was looking crispy, but still going through it. That's the daily chart. That's the weekly chart. Still battling. If it breaks, could be a big move to the upside. If and when it breaks, could be a big move. Could be a big move, right? What's the market cap on this? Volume, average volume. So the volume is not that high. Market cap 5 billion. So could be a mover. Let's see. Even on a big retracement, right? It's gone through a long bear market. January 2021, more than a 5-year bear market. This could be the low. This could be the higher low. I flagged this one a couple weeks ago, right? Eventually, the buy signal sticks. Let's see, look at the MACD bullish crossover near the 0 line on the weekly chart. How's the 2-week chart look? Pending buy signal on the weekly chart, pending buy signal on the 2-week chart. CRISPR Therapeutics is starting to look crispy. Ooh-wee. Let me just take a quick water break. Let's see. Some natural light in here. Ooh, mic check. We're good. Week chart, 3-week chart, bullish engulfing. I'll put in all the details in Discord. This one I'll dial this one in today after the live stream. You can find it under Jesse Olson Charts. So I have my own designated channel. You can see all my chart posts there, so it doesn't get lost in the mix. But you can also search on Discord or community. We have our own online community too. It's all synced up. Monthly chart pending buy signal 2. Woo! Change the look of it. Boom. Yeah, I think I'll probably do a full write-up on this one today. Monthly chart is pending buy signal. I mean, I've posted this one already, but 3-week chart had a buy signal with a bullish engulfing candle. There's a lot of reasons why this trend line lines up with the weekly chart, or what was the monthly chart? Monthly chart, right? So that's the monthly chart. 2-week chart. Where you at? 2-week chart. Pending buy signal. Weekly chart pending buy signal. Daily chart pending buy signal. I mean, the 3-week chart has already had a buy signal, still bullish. You're at the daily, the weekly, the 2-week, and the monthly chart all have a pending buy signal. So, looks interesting. It's gone through a massive correction over time. It's taken over 5 years. Over 5 years to get to this point right here at $53. It once was $220. It's at 53 right now. So far, price hit $30, right? So we're closer to the bottom than we are to the top. But it took a long time for this to unfold, right? A long time. And that's something you have to pay attention to. You can see the weekly MACD was an ultra bearish territory, kind of like what I've talked about for Bitcoin for a while, like similar to 2022, and it recovered in 2022. However, you had the MACD bullish crossover, and then the next couple months, price went down and went lower, right? The MACD never crossed back over bearish, and then it pumped all the way up into green territory. Had a bearish crossover, and it's just been making lower lows for years, staying around that zero line. So this was still good for swing trading, much more difficult, but still good for swing trading. So this is why when you're looking at such a bullish crossover in such bearish territory, this is what is possible, right? It is possible that it flips around like 2022. And then after making a new low, we're off to the races like 2022 on Bitcoin. Or it's also possible that there's a bullish crossover and in the next couple months, price goes lower, bounces hard. We all think the bottom's in like 2022, and then the bottom's not in. So we'll see how it plays out in real time, and we'll do our best to our ability. If it plays out similar to 2022, which I would be hoping for, I would love to get into another bull run on Bitcoin again. This would be much more difficult. And how would we know, right? How would we know? The 2-week chart, you've got, let's look at the monthly chart. The monthly chart had a bullish crossover in bearish territory. So while the weekly chart had crossovers, it was still bearish on the monthly chart, right? So the weekly chart had a bullish crossover, dropped down, probably another bullish crossover, dropped down, kept making lows, probably another bullish crossover, dropped down, and here we are, right? So this one would be a lot more difficult, and we'll see if it comes close together over the next couple months and takes off. If you go back to Bitcoin, we're not anywhere near a MACD bullish crossover yet. And even once there's a MACD bullish crossover, those weekly MACD crossovers get sold off. They get sold off hard and most likely makes a new low, right? So that's overall momentum. You can see this is the second histogram on Bitcoin. Just started in the month of May. Just started. So that was November, December, January was like the fourth month. So if it is something similar to 2022, that's what I'm hoping for personally. But we would not want to see it more like CRISPR Therapeutics, where he had the bullish crossover and then just stays in a bear market for years, right? For another 3 years. So we don't want Bitcoin to do that, especially as a swing trader. It'd be fine for some swing trades, but a couple good swing trades in a couple years or another bull market, I'll choose another bull market all day long. I know a lot of people think I'm a bear. I'm not. The bull market is so much easier than a bear market. It's so much easier. You just buy the dip. If it corrects 30%, you're buying the breakout. It's so much easier. That's what I hope for. I hope this is more like 2022 on Bitcoin than CRISPR of 2023, right? Hasn't done anything. But with all that said, CRISPR is starting to look a lot more enticing, right? So there we go. What else? What else? Hood, Litecoin, nothing. Covered BBA after we got the Discord alert. This was a Discord alert on bigbear.ai. So we got the alert. When was this? That was April 15th, tax day. AI, we got the alert, right? So that was in the Discord. Baidu, found this one on the screener. Bullish divergence, higher low, breakout, buy signal. Let's go. Still bullish. ARQQ, found this one on the screener, or the screener found it for us. I can't remember. I searched the screener myself, but then we have screener alerts set up in the Discord, and bullish divergence, additional bullish divergence, possible higher low, buy signal. Maybe let's go. QBTS, found this one. Bullish divergence, broke out, higher low, still bullish over here. This is an insider trading one, but just IPA. IPA'd. I'm still in Nashville. IPO'd, not IPA'd. So there's nothing for me to do on this one. I'm just going to delete it. If there's no chart history, there's no value I can add, but there was an insider trader on it. Twilio, we flagged this one. Actually, let's see. Yeah, so this is the insider trading one. Bought $25 million shares, chief investment officer, but it just IPO'd. So nothing to look there. Vitel. Someone asked about that. Where is... Oh, maybe it's on... Oh, it's on my main account. Let's go to that. Boom. Let's see. Where's Jesse? So you go, Jesse. There we go. Okay. Twilio, right? It's Twilio. TWLO. Yeah, Twilio. Up 34%. Up 34% since the screener. Buy signal. Price is trending into target box. You can see it from over here. This is before the breakout. It was at 148. Daily chart showed the entry signal. This weekly chart shows why it matters. 91% correction plus long consolidation equals targets drawn. And you can see the original alert at, see, there's buy signal at 134. So buy signal at 134. And this was on automatically Discord alert on April 15th, right? Check. There we go. Emojis, Jesse, why? So buy signal at 134, as you can see here, and took off to the upside after that. So here we are, buy signal 134. This is when we got the alert in the Discord, and it is currently up from the alert 44%. Gapped up. Ultra bullish on the daily chart, right? Ultra bullish on the daily chart. And the weekly chart is bullish. Weekly chart is ultra bullish, I mean. 2-week chart is ultra bullish. This thing's going to fly. This thing has the potential to fly. Just had a MACD bullish crossover in bullish territory, right? Bullish territory. RSI buy signal on the 2-week chart. 3-week chart, bullish MACD crossover in bullish territory. Ultra bullish on the 3-week chart. Monthly chart is bullish. Everything about this says bullish. Could it have corrections along the way? Yes. Yes, it could. But it could be a gap and go. And it's in a full retracement right now, right? So from this point of February 2021 at 457, dropped all the way down to $41. 91% correction, like I already talked about. 91% correction. Went sideways for a very long time. Pumped up. Came all the way back down to $74, $75. And then it's been giving buys and sells. And then that last one, our screener alert, was pretty dialed in at 134. And here we go. 134 for swing trading. And it's already at 192. Ultra bullish. Rock and roll, right? Boom. What else? What else? NVIDIA with the short squeeze into oblivion. So you had the top over here at 212, battled, hit some key targets down here, immediately reversed, short squeeze up, and now profit taking has happened and has dropped already 10% from the highs at 217. That's where it's at. That could be Wyckoff distribution. Looks very similar to Bitcoin at 123,700. And it looks like it back here at 209. Now it's at 197. You know, if so, then you probably see something come down like this and then down, right? So we'll see if that happens or not. Could be the Wyckoff distribution. Woo-wee. Russell, bearish engulfing candle forming as well as SPY, aka SP500 futures, IWM, Netflix, still going through our relief rally that we laid out here on February 25th. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Where's the Dow Jones? Dow Jones Transportation was the canary in the coal mine. We talked about it. We looked at it. We covered it. Double top, right? Possibly. Hams still working out to the drawing. But here's the Dow Jones Transportation, right? We talked about it. Is it leading the way for the indices to the upside, right? Check. Will it reverse, which it did, with a bearish engulfing candle, a reverse candle on our indicator, along with a bearish engulfing candle? So we talked about it being the canary in the coal mine so many times for the indices like the SP 500, NASDAQ, so on and so on, right? We've talked about this a lot. It pumped up to the upside, made a new all-time high. Huge short squeeze, followed by a reversal candle / bearish engulfing candle, right? And now the SP 500, now the Russell 2000 are all having a bearish engulfing candle as well. Now the Dow Jones is reversing all the way back down to fill the small gap. And this needs to hold as support for the bulls, or that was the top. That was the blow off top, right? So you had the top, you had a retracement, and then you had the blow off top. And this needs to hold for the bulls, or we're coming all the way back down on the Dow Jones Transportation. And is it leading the way again to the downside? Possible, right? Get that sell signal, fill that gap, come back up to the trading dots, put in a lower high. Doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight, but this is all profit taking. They're selling into FOMO. The market bosses are selling into FOMO. The reversal candle is there's no more buyers. It's only retail buying up here. Retail is buying up here. All the big players are getting out. All the big players are scaling out. And then it's only retail. And then retail starts to sell, right? Then they capitulate. ANF all the way back down. Had a nice relief rally though. Nice relief rally. Car was the main reason for the Dow Jones Transportation. It was at least 20% of the reason why Dow Jones Transportation went parabolic is because of car. This is all FOMO, reversal candle. So car drove Dow Jones Transportation. Dow Jones Transportation is a canary in the coal mine to make a new all-time high. go parabolic for the indices, then had a bearish engulfing candle, and it led the way. We talked about it when it had a bearish engulfing candle. Is it still going to be a canary in the coal mine? It still is. It still has been. We're still calling out in real time. Boom, 10:17 a.m. I've been going over an hour already. We still have a lot of chart requests. Do we still have people on the chat waiting for the chart requests? Or did I talk them out of the requests, right? Let's see. Let's do the chart requests. We said we would. EE. I'm out of water. We're getting down to it. Broke to the upside. Bearish divergence, could be higher prices, and there was a lot higher prices. So Bloom Energy broke to the upside, gap and go. Still bullish, still ultra bullish on the daily chart. Still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. 2-week chart. That's about it. Bearish divergence. Not confirmed yet. Bearish divergence isn't confirmed yet, but it could be. It could be bearish divergence there, but it's bullish on higher time frames, so I personally wouldn't be shorting this. No, thank you. What happened? I guess someone had me take a look at this, Toby, in the past, maybe you. Higher low, bullish divergence, come up, right? Resistance, battle, came all the way back down March 30th. That would have been much more difficult than I even drew out. But it's bullish right now on the daily chart. Bullish on the weekly chart. Trading dots flipped. So you can see, similar to Bitcoin, let me take the music off now that I'm going to be talking. You can see where Finally got back to the trading dots on the weekly chart. Still battled and put in a higher low down here. And then flipped around, and then it was time to go. So that took 2 more months, right? So even if Bitcoin doesn't put in bullish divergence, I would still expect something like a higher low to take some more time and then let those trading dots flip around, right? That's a weekly chart, 2-week chart, core weave. It's bullish right now. Bullish right now. So that's that. IONQ. This one's a little bit harder to get a read on. Is it just a relief rally? Is it just a bounce? It's hard to say. It seems like it wants to get back into buy the dip season, but it's too early to call it. The higher time frames are flipping around, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be one more drop first. It's bullish on the daily chart, but there's a RSI sell signal. Like I said, it's conflicting. There's more bullish reasons than there are bearish, but doesn't mean it couldn't come back down for a couple of gap refills first or a 200-week moving average before it goes off into making more moves. But you had bullish divergence. Is this the higher low? Maybe. If that's the higher low or remains a higher low, or there's a higher low over here, then that would be a higher probability of a reversal to the upside. So it's possible comes back down, fills some of this in, and it takes off to the upside, right? So that's possible. The higher time frames flipping bullish, that's the way I would lean. You would fill this gap, you could possibly fill this gap, or at least retest those green trending dots again, right? So I would lean more that way. Right now, it may not pump right away. Maybe just need to reset for a little bit because it just pumped up a little bit. Let's see, from here to there, 90% move. So probably going to get a retracement of a 90% move before it makes another bigger move to the upside. So it's kind of either way, right? I'd be more interested if it went into a longer consolidation and a retracement from this 90% move, and they're going to break out of this downward trend line again, and if the stars are aligning then, that would be something a lot more interesting for myself than buying right now, right? Yeah, this buy signal, gaps, all that stuff, trying to flip around. That's the way I kind of look at it. But I personally wouldn't want to chase this. Maybe the chasing works out, maybe it doesn't. But if I was going to be buying the dip on it, and you think that it's a bullish buy the dip season on it, then a retracement to a key target area, at least fill that gap at $36, and it starts to break back out to the upside, that's a higher probability of a breakout. There's a lot of requests today. CL1. It's futures though. Crude oil futures. I already have futures on here. Pretty sure we already covered future oil. Yeah, it looks the same. I already covered oil. I don't think we need to cover oil futures. It's just, it looks exactly the same. Yeah, we already covered it. Refer back to the US oil. It's like the same stuff. So VITL. We just had an alert on that the other day, right? Yeah, we did have an alert on this one. So there was a buy signal alert. A buy signal alert on this one. I think I posted this one in the Discord. That there was an alert on it. Come back for retest of the green training dots. I mean, still has some work to do, right? So you've got a gap here. 24. Weekly chart is still ultra bearish. So I'm pretty sure when I posted about this one, it's caution, right? It's caution. Just because there's a buy signal on the daily chart, what's the overall trend doing, right? If there was green trending dots and price is back above it on, say, the weekly chart, and then there's a buy signal on the daily chart, that carries a lot more weight than being ultra bearish on a weekly chart, well below the weekly trending dots for a buy signal on the daily chart. So so if you look at an alert, you still have to go chart it yourself, right? So we have these alerts going out that could be possible setup to take. And if you're not sure how to take those setups, then there's 70 plus hours of recorded coaching. So I'm not going to spend 70 hours to do coaching on this, but the weekly chart is ultra bearish right now. So I think I either posted this or I didn't post it because of the higher time frames. Ultra bearish on the 2-week chart. bearish on the 3-week chart. Is this the bottom? Bearish on the monthly chart. Maybe, but at the very least, it's going to take a lot of time for this momentum to get turned around. Whether it's like that, who knows how it works out, right? It's going to take time. You can see those trending dots are expanding on the monthly chart still. And those are my trending dots, right? So you could have a buy signal on the daily chart, doesn't do much. You have a buy signal on the daily chart, doesn't do much. Buy signal on the daily chart, buy signal, right? Until that momentum is flipped back around or flipping around over here, you got a low. Maybe this is even bullish divergence, right? And then you got that higher low. And then you get a buy signal over here somewhere on the daily chart, even though this is the monthly chart. You get a buy signal on the daily chart. The weekly chart looks good. 2-week chart, 3-week chart, all flipping around. Then that buy signal carries a lot more weight than it was on Friday. So I don't know if I posted that or not. We definitely had an alert on it. Yeah, there it is. So we have the alert, exactly, right? So you had the bullish divergence on the daily chart. You had a buy signal. But the caution is higher time frames are bearish. And it's extreme bearish momentum to the downside right now. So that's the caution. It's got to be more than just the daily chart. And that's why you still got to chart it after you see the alert, right? So there you go. There you go. Intel. Yeah, once it made that move to the upside, flipped back bullish, got back above the 200-week SMA. You can see the bullish divergence even on the monthly chart, right? Started to break back around, and it's been bullish ever since. Monthly chart is ultra bullish. 3-week chart is ultra bullish. 2-week chart is ultra bullish. Weekly chart has been ultra bullish. Daily chart is ultra bullish. I don't see any bearish divergence on the daily chart. It doesn't mean there will be, but even if this is going to be going through a topping pattern, or at least a local high, this could mean that come back, retest, go higher, higher, right? So it could put in bearish divergence over time if it's going to go through a topping pattern like that, right? You see, you've got like a head and shoulders here on RSI, and price could still go higher. So yeah, it's just bullish right now. What's going on in whale alert? 28,000. Okay. Okay. That's Intel. What else? I covered it briefly. It's the daily chart. Bearish on the daily and the weekly chart. Seems like price wants to come back lower, fill some gaps. 200-week SMA is down here at 449.90. Yep. Seems like it wants to go lower. There you go. You've had me cover this one a lot, so we won't spend too much time on it. But looking at the weekly chart, it was oversold. We talked about it. This could be the low. It was pumping up. Could come back down, put it in a higher low. That's the higher probability. It was finding support, finding support, finding support. Now it's pushing off to the upside. The probabilities are increasing that it's become more and more bullish, and could retest the 200-week SMA up there at 17.92-ish. Currently at 16.822. So pending buy signal on the weekly chart. Daily chart, had a buy signal at about the same price point, so that kind of lines up. 2-week chart could have a pending buy signal in the near future. 3-week chart consolidating around the trending dots. Monthly chart letting it catch up. Still could take some time. Monthly chart still has some work to do, but the lower and mid time frames are starting to look better and better. So monthly chart is lagging. A lot of alerts today. Uh-oh. Beacon depositor? I don't even know what that is. Bullish divergence. Gap. It's a pretty big gap. %25 gap. Ooh. Yep. Still the same thoughts as last time. You can see all my drawings that I removed from here, but it's just going to take time because the higher time frames remain bearish, right? So you had the big drop. Could the bottom be in? Sure, it could be. And it could bounce up, come back down. Maybe the bottom's not in. Bounce up, come back down. And just take forever to finally make a move out, right? So while waiting for the higher time frames to play out, you could see that it's going through all that price action, and you get the red trending dots expanding over here. So to give an idea of how long it looks like it would take, that the monthly training dots are way up here. Bounce, drop, bounce, drop, bounce, get rejected, drop, and finally make a move. When is that? January 2027? I guess it's only 7 months from now. Woo! So there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yup. I know I have soul on here somewhere. I'm knocking out all of the chart requests today. Exactly what I'm talking about, where the monthly chart and everything was taking time, and you've got soul basically going sideways, right? Letting the trending dots, letting the monthly, penny bison again, right? Letting the trending dots on the monthly chart, the 3-week chart, 2-week chart all catch up. Meanwhile, it's been going sideways and flatlining since February 2026. So 3 months, it's flatlined at $85, right? And could take another 4 or 5 months flatlining. Who knows? So it's way too early. You can see that you go to the monthly chart. Monthly trending dots. Trajectory. If it starts to flip around. You can see how long that could possibly take, right? So boom, 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 boom. Something like that. Maybe. But the monthly red trending dots are still trending downward, and the bottom could be in, or the bottom may not be in. And then a higher low is a higher probability. And you start to see the breakout here on the daily and the weekly chart, say November 2026 as an example. And to me, it's the exact same buy price, but timing wise, you're not holding it for 7 months. And you're up, you're down, you're watching it for 7 months. You could be swing trading other things possibly that pump even harder. And then once it's getting into that breakout mode and everything's consolidating over here on the higher time frames, then it's rock and roll. right? So, but that's something you have to decide what you're going to do. Right now, it's just been basically flat at $85 since February. So 3 months now. So, and there's always that possibility. Always a possibility. Get rejected off the trending dots and goes lower. Comes all the way down here. Like some of the other altcoins have. It's possible. That's why I wait to buy the right dip. Let's see what else. That's about it. With that, I think we're going to call it here. It's almost 11 a.m. Almost went 2 full hours to get back on the saddle, to knock off the rust, to get through everybody's chart requests, at least one per person. So we got through it all, covered Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks, indices, futures, covered it all. If you want to learn more, you want to take a deep dive, definitely go into definitely become a member for $49 a month. You can see we have refresh that. Refresh. We have 70 plus hours of recorded coaching. I pulled no punches. I went all in on time. We have our own online community and Discord as well. Watch list activity. This is new, by the way. Watch list technology. No, watch list activity. This is brand new. We haven't even talked about it yet. Our own charting system with our own indicators. You can filter it by sniper. You can see the ones I have selected. Automatic gap detection, auto trend lines, so many different market structure, channels, clouds, Bollinger Bands, ATR, ADI. What else? We have a lot. Volume profile. We have everything, right? But if there's something you still need on TradingView, we still use TradingView as a bridge as well, as we continue to get these charting systems better and better and better. For fun, we like to look at the heat map over here. So under charts, you can flip it from actual charts to the heat map. You can see this is all. We can filter out with stocks, filter out with crypto. You can make it larger. You can filter it out with ETFs, right? You could do performance versus RSI, right? All. So that's all of you. If you're into the economy, cool. We got you covered. Interest rates, yield curve, unemployment. It's all public data, but we pull it all through here one spot, so you don't have to go to 10 different million places to go. And portfolio simulator, financials, so much. And I think we're finally going to roll out AI. We've had it locked in. I think we're going to finally pull the trigger this week. So stay tuned. So for $49 a month, you also get AI to analyze charts. You can upload an attachment, all of that, right? Ask your spotter. You're a sniper. Snipers have spotters. That's what we call AI. So spotter is your AI sniper assist over there. So there you go. I think we're gonna roll that out finally. Dashboard, of course. Performance, journal, counts, strategies. It has it all. There's so many details on here. Obviously, I'm not going to show you my actual account. So there you go. Ethereum. And that's about it. I mean, we've got everything you could possibly need, and we're going to continue to keep building out more and more. And so with that, thank you for all of your support. Thank you for sharing on X, on YouTube, reposting, restreaming. Help me, help you, help me with the algorithms. I appreciate it. We'll help each other, and we'll continue to sniper the markets together. So with that, have a good rest of your day. Adios. Hold on. End stream. Adios.